Okay guys, welcome back to Mr. Farley's screencast. Today we're going to be attacking the Battle of Gettysburg and why was the Battle of Gettysburg a turning point. As you can see from the title of the Mini-Q, the title indeed is the Battle of Gettysburg. Why was it a turning point? And this is vital to understand as we embark on this Mini-Q. This question, why was it a turning point, it assumes actually that Gettysburg was indeed a turning point. It doesn't ask, was Gettysburg a turning point? It basically says, why was it a turning point? So it's telling you that it was a turning point. Your mission on this Mini-Q, after studying and assessing the documents and answering the document questions, your mission is to answer this question, why was it a turning point? And this Mini-Q is chock full of evidence to suggest why the battle was a turning point. Taking a look at the cover of the Mini-Q, you've got an image here of the battlefield following day 3 of the battle. These are deceased soldiers, many of them suffering what's known as bloat or battlefield bloat, what happened on the Battle of Gettysburg, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of 1863. The 3 days was a very hot period, hot, humid, and muggy. And what happens to rotting corpses on the battlefield in hot, muggy conditions is basically the insides of the deceased begin to ferment and brew and bubble, causing literally the body to bloat. This is an image captured in 1863 from the battlefield. Taking a look at this Mini-Q, let's look at the overview of the Mini-Q, and let's read this together. When Confederate troops marched across Maryland and into Pennsylvania in late June of 1863, General Robert E. Lee hoped to undermine Union morale. In other words, he hoped to dash, or he hoped to crush, the spirit of the Union forces. If he could win a decisive battle on Union soil, it might cause the North to give up the fight. That was the hope on the part of Robert E. Lee. The two armies engaged outside the town of Gettysburg, and the battle lasted for 3 brutal days, as I said, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of 1863. This Mini-Q asks the question, why was the Battle of Gettysburg a turning point in the war? So again, just to reiterate, it's not saying, was the Battle of Gettysburg a turning point? It's assuming, and it's telling you to assume, that it was a turning point. Your task is to explain why was Gettysburg a turning point. The documents included that you'll be studying contains 4 documents. First document is a map on the main battles and the campaigns of the Civil War. Document B is going to be a list of casualties. Document C is going to be a couple of letters from Robert E. Lee to President Jefferson Davis. And document D is going to be probably the greatest and also the shortest great speech ever written, the Gettysburg Address, which was written and spoken by President Lincoln on November 19th of 1863, a couple of months after the Battle of Gettysburg ended. He gave that address on the battlefield to commemorate the war dead and the sacrifices that were made on the very field that we're going to be talking about for the next few classes. Before you continue on your Mini-Q, I would like to remind everybody that there is a study deck on Quizlet titled Mini-Q vocab terms, 11 terms that you will see throughout the course of this Mini-Q. Make sure you study those terms and you're familiar with those before you embark on continuing this Mini-Q. Let's have some fun with this. Let's make sure that we're staying on top of our assignments, and let's continue on with the next section when we're ready, which is going to be the hook exercise on the next page.